Hello and welcome to another episode of Ethnobotany. In this episode we'll cover the history of Echinacea. In this episode we'll cover the information from the textbook, Echinacea, Herbal Medicine with a Wild History. Let's get started. Let's start with the uses of Echinacea. Let's start by talking about what is Echinacea. Echinacea is a series of plants in the genus Echinacea. Many members of the species, including Echinacea angustifolia, are harvested for medicinal purposes. If you're in the United States or Canada, you will know what it looks like. And if you're not, it's a member of the aster family and it's a picture of it on the screen right now. Now on to the uses of Echinacea based on reports from European and American explorers. The first one we can know of is the works of Lewis and Clark. In 1804, William Clark got a visit from an English trader from Northwest Company, and mentioned that Echinacea could be used to treat the disease mad dog, which is now known as rabies, and also proposed that it could be used to treat snakebite and other ailments. Echinacea seeds were sent back alongside Echinacea roots and a full specimen which was unfortunately destroyed somewhere along the line during the travels. These samples were sent to Thomas Jefferson. It was also found that the people of the Arakawa village in North America utilized it to treat some sort of ailment. What that ailment was not specified. This observation was made by Henry Brackenridge in 1811. In 1833, Prince Maximilian of Weed went to Montana and talked with several Aboriginal tribes who proposed the benefits of Echinacea root to him as a means of treating snakebite. In later years, such as the 1900s, ethnobotanists began studying Echinacea through communications with the native community. Two such ethnobotanists were Melvin Gilmore and Huron Smith. Melvin Gilmore did extensive interviews with 5 high-ranking elders within his community, who mentioned that macerated root could be used as an antidote for snakebite and other venomous bites and stings. And Dr. Gilmore also discovered that the tribes of Nebraska use Echinacea more so than most other plants for medicine. The Echinacea root was also used to relieve inflammation as a poultice, based on his interview. Other ethnobotanists in the 1990s discovered that the tribes from Pine Ridge used Echinacea for treating skin problems, such as the effects of poison ivy, and to relieve toothache. In the 1980s, doctors Rogers, Munson, and Kraft further elucidated that Echinacea root was used extensively for relieving thirst or perspiration and as a painkiller. This practice seemed to be the toothache treatment aspect of Echinacea alongside its pain-killing quality seems to be universal amongst the tribes in Nebraska. In Oklahoma, the various native tribes also use it to treat various types of diseases such as colds and sore throats and toothaches and sore gums. Another tribe found in both Oklahoma and Montana drank a tea made from Echinacea for rheumatism, arthritis, mumps, and measles. Yet another folk remedy involved the mixing of Echinacea root with blazing star to create a tea that can be used to relieve smallpox. And yet another folk treatment where puffball spores and skunk oil were mixed with Echinacea roots to make a treatment for boils. By the way, skunk oil is the oil found from skunk fat. Other tribes in Montana use it to treat rattlesnake bite and colic. Still, yet another tribe uses it to treat sore throat and toothache. Other tribes within this region use it for the same purpose. There's also evidence of trade between Aboriginal communities in Mexico and native communities within North America, since Echinacea does not grow naturally in Mexico, but there's examples of native people within that area using it, indicating trade. Another species of Echinacea, Echinacea purpurea, for the treatment of different ailments. This group of tribespeople taught a self-taught physician called Gideon Lenicium, who lived between 1800 and 1835, how to use it to treat coughs. Now on to the medical history of this plant. Here's some of the current research on Echinacea and its history. The first known example of Echinacea research for medicine purposes happened in Germany, and by the 1990s, more than 800 products containing Echinacea purpurea and Echinacea angustifolia were produced in Germany alone. The earliest known research started in 1950 and usually involved more than one species, due to the species being misnamed or misidentified. An early review of this literature suggested that the chemical analysis are likely of Echinacea angustifolia origin, while medicinal activity was tested using Echinacea purpurea. Using cloned cell lines, or in vitro cell lines, it was found that Echinacea can cause the immune system to be stimulated. Similar results were also found in animal studies. One such animal study found that the extract of Echinacea could be used to increase the resilience of mice cells to influenza and herpes by approximately 50 to 80%, so long as they were exposed to this virus 4 to 6 hours after being taken. This resistance only lasted 1 to 2 days. Unfortunately, the chemical that caused this process could not be isolated, and it's currently believed that multiple chemicals create this response. In later studies, highly purified samples of a polysaccharide from Echinacea purpurea was found to be useful against some forms of tumor cells and one species of parasitic bacteria. This polysaccharide seemed to induce an immune response when injected, which explains its mode of action. Further research by Dr. Currier and Dr. Miller suggested that the extract of Echinacea purpurea could be used to treat leukemia in combination with other drugs. Dr. Mathias in 2007 found that there's one chemical within Echinacea that can reduce cough, with another chemical doing the opposite, increasing the amount of coughing. Most of the evidence seems to suggest that there is no one chemical that causes the immune response that Echinacea causes, but it's rather a long series of different chemicals acting in unison. The researchers concluded that for future studies, we need to learn what specific active compounds cause the immune response to be modulated, and how does each chemical work, which part of the species and which species is most appropriate in creating medicines, what is the appropriate dosage, and what should be the maximum length of time for taking Echinacea products, and finally, what can be done to alleviate allergic reactions. Well, that concludes this episode. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching this video. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to me on BitChute for a greater variety of content, 4 videos a week. And thank you to all my subscribers on both platforms. I appreciate it.